Have you ever said something in a moment of heat that you regretted for years? Science shows that when anger takes control, clear thinking becomes weaker, and we stop choosing wisely, we simply react. In those moments, it feels like someone else is driving our mind while words leave our mouth without permission, sometimes hurting the very people we care about the most. An ancient philosopher once said that anyone can become angry, but knowing when, why, and how much to be angry, that is true skill. The real question is, have we mastered that skill yet? Many people don't realize how powerful a single emotional moment can be. One sentence spoken in anger can damage trust built over years. One impulsive decision can quietly change the direction of a life. We often think strength means power, loudness, or control over others. But the truth is different. Real strength is the ability to control yourself. Long ago, there lived a mighty ruler named King Arman. His kingdom was prosperous, his army powerful, and his intelligence admired by all. But behind his success lived a dangerous weakness. He lost his temper quickly. Small mistakes felt like personal attacks, and when anger rose inside him, his decisions became harsh. Servants feared his voice, and even his advisors measured their words carefully, unsure what might spark his fury. Arman believed his anger made him strong. He thought fear and respect were the same thing. Yet deep inside, he felt restless, as if peace always stood just out of reach. One evening, his childhood mentor, Master Rahim, arrived at the palace. Many years earlier, Rahim had guided the young prince, teaching him not only knowledge but also wisdom about patience, balance, and self-mastery. The king welcomed him warmly, and that night they sat together for a grand meal, sharing stories and laughter from the past. For a short while, Arman felt light again, almost like the boy he once was. Then suddenly, a small insect fell into the king's bowl. The room froze. Arman's face changed instantly. He slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "Who allowed this? How careless can you be?" A young servant stepped forward, trembling so badly he could hardly speak. "Your Majesty, it was clean when served. It must have happened afterward." But the king's anger only grew. His pride felt wounded, and he prepared to punish the servant harshly. Before he could speak again, Master Rahim's calm voice broke the silence. "My king," pause for a moment. The servant did not place it there. "Sometimes things happen without anyone's intention." Arman frowned. "You don't understand. Small things like this ruin my peace." The old teacher looked at him gently and said, "No, my king, the insect did not destroy your peace. Your reaction did. A man who cannot rule his own emotions can never truly rule anything else." The words hung heavily in the air. For the first time that evening, the king fell silent. Master Rahim continued softly, "Decisions made in anger or strong emotion often become regrets later. When anger rises, do not speak immediately. Count to 10. If the fire is still there, count again. Give your mind time to return before your words leave your mouth. Emotions are meant to serve you, not command you." The king lowered his voice. "I try, but I still fail." "That is because control is not a wish," Rahim replied. "It is a practice. Patience is like strength, it grows only when exercised." That night, Arman could not sleep. The words repeated in his mind again and again. For the first time, he wondered if the greatest enemy he faced was not outside his palace, but within himself. In the days that followed, he began to practice the rule of 10. When anger appeared, he paused. He breathed before speaking. Sometimes he remained silent for a few seconds that felt like forever. At first it felt like holding back a storm, but slowly, the storm began to weaken. He noticed something surprising. When he waited, his thoughts became clearer. Problems that once seemed insulting now felt small. Situations that usually ended in punishment now ended in understanding. The palace changed. Advisors started speaking more honestly. Servants walked with less fear. The air felt lighter. Respect replaced fear, and loyalty replaced silence. For the first time in many years, the king experienced peace. Not because the world changed, but because he did. Months later, Arman visited Master Rahim again. "You were right," he said quietly. I thought strength meant controlling others. Now I see it means controlling myself." The teacher smiled. "You are not alone in this lesson. Every person struggles with emotions. What you have learned, share with others. Help them understand that calmness is not weakness. It is wisdom." He paused, then added, "Anger, joy, sadness. They are visitors. They arrive unexpectedly. But you do not have to let them run your life." The king carried those words in his heart. And this story is not only about a king. It is about all of us. Today's world is fast, noisy, and full of triggers. Social media, pressure, traffic, deadlines. Everything pushes us to react quickly. We often blame the situation, but many times the real problem is our reaction to it. Emotions themselves are not bad. They are a natural part of being human. The danger begins when we act without thinking. Temporary emotions can create permanent consequences. That is why self-awareness matters. Each of us has emotional triggers: criticism, stress, memories, delays, or disappointment. When we learn to recognize them, we gain power over our responses. When emotion rises, pause. Notice your breathing. Notice your thoughts. Notice how your body feels. That small moment of awareness creates space. And in that space lies your freedom to choose differently. There are simple ways to calm the mind. Step away for a moment, take a deep breath, drink water, go for a short walk, or speak to someone you trust. The goal is not to suppress emotion, but to guide it with awareness. Emotions come and go like waves. No feeling lasts forever. When you choose patience instead of impulse, you protect your relationships. When you choose silence instead of anger, you protect your peace. When you choose awareness instead of reaction, you protect your future. Real power is quiet. It is the ability to remain steady when everything inside you wants to explode. It is the courage to pause when reacting feels easier. It is choosing wisdom over impulse again and again. Because the greatest victory is not winning over others, it is mastering yourself. And the moment you learn to master yourself, life becomes calmer, lighter, and far more peaceful than you ever imagined. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And if you want more stories that help you grow stronger, calmer, and wiser, subscribe to Wisdom Stories and become part of this journey. Before you go, write "I choose calm" in the comments. Let this be a promise you make to yourself today. Until next time, stay wise, stay patient, and stay at peace.